Thank you for clicking on my video. My name is Joe. I'm going to share one of my rounds at Lofoten Links in northern Norway. What a spectacular place. I highly recommend it. It is a bit of a travel excursion to get up there. We left actually from Helsinki, flew from Helsinki to Tromsø. Then from Tromsø we flew to Boda, still not sure how to pronounce that. And then we took a 20-minute flight from Boda to Svolvær, and then it was a 45-minute drive from there. Only 18 holes, but they are spectacular, every hole. The second hole gets a lot of acclaim, but I think it's hard to beat number 16. Well, I'll let you be the judge of what you see on the video, but it's my first real go at recording a round of golf. Learned a lot, including making sure that you have your microphone charged. I got halfway through my round and realized that my microphone failed, so the second 9 of this video is mostly me over talking on the video after the fact. But anyway, just sit back, enjoy, let me know your comments, and I'd love to hear from you. But for now, enjoy Lofoten Links. So here's the scorecard for Lofoten Links. I decided to play the T55 tees, which from a meter perspective is 54.99. I'll show you some math and discuss the conversion to that in yards later. I spoke with Jerry Mulvihill, the course superintendent. He said prior to our arrival, they had almost 3 weeks, if not longer, of constant rain that really made an impact on how the golf course typically plays. But we went out and enjoyed the days we got to play were absolutely spectacular. And then here we are coming to the first hole. The first hole is not an easy handshake. It's a drivable par 4 if you decide to take a rip at it with your driver, which I did here. And it's a great way to just welcome you to the sights and the sounds that you're going to see at Lofoten Links. So we're off with a very good swing on the first hole. My target line being the right of the 2 rock piles that they have short of the green. There's a little bank that actually speed slots the ball back towards the first green, and we ended up being about 50 yards away. Ooh, it looks like I just knocked it over. Got a little frisky with my second shot. Put it over the green into what should be a pretty straightforward little chip. We'll see here. Let's see if we can get up and down here. Oh! Fix your divots on such a beautiful golf course as this. The greens this time of year are looking pretty good. They just vertic cut them.
Also talked to one of the groundskeepers this morning and said that they just rolled all the greens. They should be running a little bit faster than they were yesterday. And maybe knock down the grooves of the verticutting. We'll see. Definitely don't want to start off this hole with a bogey because that's just a kick right in the bollock. So nice easy par start. Moving on to the second hole. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the famous second hole at Lofoten Links.
So playing the second hole here at Lofoten Links, obviously it's their signature hole. My mic was having some issues. So 137 yards, I think, was what the gun said, and just trying to hit a nice easy 9-iron in there.
Definitely get the salty air that you get only on seaside golf locations.
Okay, I really promise I have no filter on. This is just the standard setting on my iPhone.
Get up that ridge. Get up that ridge. Yeah. Could have been a little bit more aggressive with that. All right, Joe. Good solid stroke like on the first hole. Walk out of here with a par. Move on. Actually, I think it's going to break a little bit more. Yeah, just trust it. And I missed it.
So sadly, we made a bogey on the signature hole. But the 4 times that I got to play the course during my time up there in Lofoten, I think I probably was 2 over overall for that particular hole. Coming to the third hole, what a beautiful tee shot. Not a driver hole, laying up here with a hybrid. Just trying to get position here. There's an aiming marker straight ahead, and that's what I'm gunning for.
That's right at that bump. Right at it. It's close. All right, got a little lucky. Stayed out of the bunker. 129 yards. Which would have been really good yesterday. Pin was there. You actually see 2 flags here, 17th and the 3rd. I'm actually going to aim more towards the 17th. Going to hit a little pitching wedge here, I think. That should be enough to get us onto the center of the green.
So we got up to the 3rd green. My ball was pin high right, about 25 feet. There's a turtleback in the middle of the green, not a huge one, but enough that your ball's going up and it's coming back down. So it adds a level of complexity. My ball's about I don't know, a couple feet off of the green on the right side over there. Um, and I've really been trying to make a concerted effort this year to try to be a little bit more aggressive with my putts, especially from this distance. So I got a little frisky with my putt, which is all right. Leaves me about a 10-footer. Really wasn't much in this putt. I watched it go by and didn't see a lot of break. And I just went ahead and hit a really terrible putt here and didn't even get it to the hole. So not a great bogey, probably deserved.
Fourth hole, dogleg right, back up to the green is uphill approach. I've got a little mound here, target line, 3-wood right over the top of that target, should leave us about, I'm gonna wedge in, let's see. It's a little bit left of the target line, but it'll be fine, right in the fairway. All right, drive finds the fairway, 130, yeah, a little less than that. Hitting back over at the Hoven Mountain, which is over 1,000 feet in elevation. All right, nice smooth one right in the middle of the green. I mean, look at that view. It's unbelievable. All right, we got an uphill putt. Doesn't look like there's a ton in it. And it's all pace. Get this pace down. All right, well, I didn't leave it short, thank God. It's hard to find things to complain about on a golf course like this, on a day like this. But leaving putt short, that might be it. All right, we're on the par 5 fifth hole, number 1 handicap. Last couple days I've not played this hole particularly well, so we're hoping to have a little bit better result here. That splits, goes down, is that the 11th hole? Just to the right of the maintenance shed. Course has gotten 3 weeks of rain. Very, very, very wet. So the 6,015 yards is playing a lot longer. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. All right, good swing, Joe. Extend down the line, right at your target. All right, just on the right edge of the fairway, it appears to be. the Hoven Mountain in the background. We got 242 yards all the way to the flag. It's a really well-designed hole. You've got the rock backdrop with a no man's land in between here and the flag. So to carry that no man's land is about 230 uphill. I just don't think that's the percentage play. So I'm gonna try to play to the right side of the fairway here, get it up as close to that first area of rocks and mush and ponds because it's been flooded. And then have a short little third in. Let's see if we can't get back here and get back to +1. That's okay. Looks like it just snuck into the first cut of rough. Should be a nice fluffy lie for our third. All right, we got 63 yards left. Third shot, par 5 fifth, number 1 handicap. Pin looks like it's back left corner of this green. Not too, we moved the flags from yesterday. Looks pretty similar to where the one was yesterday. One hop stop, that's the plan. Let's see what we can do. Almost erased those 2 strokes over par right there. As we walk up, it does appear to be within kick-in distance. We'll settle it in there, adjust the gimbal, and actually try to kick it in. All right, we're on the 6th hole after a kick-in birdie on the number 1 handicap. I didn't do the math. I asked Surrey what the equation was for 6,015 yards at 5,200 feet, which is typically about the equivalent of timesing the distance by 1.15. So 15% comes out to just over 6,900 yards. So I don't want to hear any shit about playing at only 6,000 yards at sea level. For a Denver course, 6,900 yards, that's about what I normally play. So I'm happy with selecting the T55 tees. I think they're right for me. You know, and so many people play from tees that they really shouldn't be playing from. Makes the golf game a little bit harder, a little less enjoyable. Takes much longer to play. This is an appropriate yardage. All right, hybrid. It's going down the left side, though, which is fine. Oof, not much roll on that one. Again, these fairways are really soft because of all the rain. But we'll take it. All right, left side of the fairway, second shot on the par 4 6th hole. About 115 yards left, slightly uphill. I'm just going to try to hit a hard 50 degree, right at the candy stripe aiming pole. Let it draw in. A little left of the target line, but a little short. It's putting uphill. We'd like to be a little bit closer, but all right, uphill, left to right, basically the entire way. Keep a foot outside the left in order to keep it on the high side. We can have to get this back even. Well, it was aggressive. Yikes. Well, that's the definition of the perfect speed for it to enter in at 3 o'clock on the hole. Hung there on the side of the cup for a little bit and then dropped in, but doesn't matter, it went in. All right, well, we're still at 1 over, playing 172 yards uphill, pins all the way back. I got a 6-iron. Wind's a little behind us now. I think we're up to about 3-mile-an-hour winds. Got a cell tower there with a bunch of radio relay dishes on it. I actually have pretty good cell service up here, which is fantastic. Did a couple FaceTime calls with some friends earlier. It's not often you get to FaceTime with your friends from inside the Arctic Circle, especially on a day like today. The end of August 2024. I love technology. All right, 172, 6-iron. Nice and smooth. Extend down the line. I don't know. Completely lost it. Feel like we're just a little to the right of the flag. All right, well, got up to the green after hitting our tee shot right into the sun. Got about 15 feet, so that's a nice little surprise getting up here. Again, Mount Hoven in the background, and I don't know what the range is a little further to the west there, but my goodness, it's stunning around here. Let me go find my ball mark. Yeah, uphill, right to left at the beginning, a slight right to left in the middle, and then back to the right at the end. All right, I'll take a 3 on that hole any day. Still 1 over, going to the 8th. All right, we've made it to the par 5 8th hole. Water all along the left. It's kind of a bite off as much as you want to chew. Get a little aggressive with this tee ball if you want. Wind coming out of the left at a blistering 3 miles an hour, something like that. All right, we got a real opportunity to get from +1 back to even par here. So let's see what we can do here. Good tee shot is a must. Extend down the target line. And that is absolutely perfect. Right in the middle of the fairway. Let's go. All right. Getting 220 yards. I'm not sure what that meant for drive distance, but balls have been getting kind of caked with some mud based on all the rain they've been getting. Another kind of risk-reward second shot here. Got to carry it over what appears to be right in front of the green, a rock outcropping with a bunch of moss and lichen, but it's about 30 yards short of the green. So uphill, 220 into our, again, whopping 3 mile an hour winds. I'm going to hit a hybrid. Again, good shoulder turn. Drop the hands. Extend down the line. Again, let's get a chance to get back to even par here. Pulled the hair. I saw one bounce. All right, we'll be up by the green. It's a little pitch, a little putt for 4. So second shot, first cut of rough. We're gonna just try to land this on. A little bit past the flag. I got about 8 feet. See if we can make that. There we go. Give us a little bit better view. I don't see a ton in this, except for a big old ball mark right in my line. Kind of a classic example of just gotta hit these uphill putts firm. All right, let's get back to even par here. Birdie 4. Even par now. We've got it back to even after 2. Well, let's face it, just terrible bogeys on 2 and 3.
And another bad stretch of audio here, but the target line is essentially the peak of Mount Hove. Ton of room on the left side of this fairway. No real reason to go right here, but let's see what happens. And here we are, taking a provisional because God knows I couldn't keep it to the left.
Well, there's that lovely B player. Right in the middle of the fairway. All right, let's go find our first one. Okay, our first ball made it into the bunker here on the right. Steps away from just being absolutely gone. But at least we get to play it out of this bunker and not take a penalty stroke. Pin is in the very back, far enough back in the bunker. 110 yards, 50 degree, full 50 degree wedge. My guess is we'll just be short of the green. The sand is like paste. Not fluffy at all, but again, 3 weeks of constant rain. There's actually a bunker over here, I'll show you, that has standing water in it. Oh, hang on. There we go. Pretty common. Fortunately, so far on my trip, haven't hit into them. All right, our second shot came up on the front of the green, out of the greenside bunker. Excuse me, the fairway bunker. Got to be really aggressive with this putt, otherwise it's going to be down and to the right. Now it's about 8 feet left. Again, ridiculous views. I don't see much in this. I'm going to favor the inside right. But 50 feet. Can't complain about that. Try not to set yourself up for those types of situations, but it's inevitable.
So we've made the turn, made the long walk from the clubhouse over to number 10 after picking up a little ice cream cone. This is where my mics really started having issues, so unfortunately there's no more or very little of contemporaneous commentary. I just kind of have to remember what I was saying and kind of fill it in as we go. So we hit a good one starting the back 9. Ball split the fairway, actually landed in this kind of atypical fairway condition. This is an area that was draining water with all the rain that they had, but got about 80 yards left. Got about a full, I think it's a full 58, false front, and then a kind of a severe drop off to the right, which I happen to find. So the lie wasn't bad over here. Only really had to pitch it about 10 feet to get it up on top of the green. Then it plateaued out. The green definitely was breaking from, as we're looking here, left to right, but my right to left. Hit a pretty decent little chip here. Kind of ran it up to about 3-4 feet with a slight right to left break. So knocked in a nice 5-footer. Always happy to get up and down. Number 11, standing on an elevated tee, slightly. Green, kind of dog legs a little to the left. Two bunkers out on the right. Those were my target line. I hit a pretty good one here right over the top of a couple of the grounds crew guys that were watching me hit here. So I got a little unlucky. Didn't stay in the fairway, but also lucky that it didn't go into one of those little bunkers. So I got about 125 yards left, hitting an easy wedge here, just to try to hit the center of the green. So I caught a bit of a flyer. Didn't have a lot of spin coming out of that little first cut of rough. At least the grain of that rough was in the direction of the green, but still it hit and then released and went all the way to the back of the green. Here I'm hitting a putter instead of chipping because it was basically all uphill from there, and I prefer to have topspin to get it up those hills. So a pretty routine par on number 11, which brings us to number 12, which is a long par 3, which are just my absolute nemesis, and this is probably my worst swing of the day. Just absolutely trapped it, shut the face, and pulled it into the native on the right. It's probably a good thing I wasn't recording during this, because I probably would have had a couple of swear words. So I take a drop, hit a really terrible pitch, and let's look at all the different ways we can screw up one hole. This is the definition of compounding errors. I hit one in the native, I hit a terrible pitch shot to about 15 feet, which had a ton of break in it, although you can't really tell here. But trying to avoid the dreaded double. At least I left it on the high side, and I made it past the hole. So sadly, we mark ourselves for a double on the 12th, coming to the 13th, a par 5, dogleg left, very similar to number 8 in that it kind of take on as much as you want with this particular hole. Safe play is probably not even hitting a driver here, but why not? We're in the Arctic Circle, playing for some fun here, just trying to record it, see if I can recover from a double bogey here. And I block it to the left. On this line, it had to fly forever. And unfortunately, it got caught up in this kind of lichen mossy area. Tried to take a hybrid here, and I blocked it again to the left. I found it. Unfortunately, it was unplayable, so I took again a generous drop here. I got about a 50-degree wedge into the green that now I pulled it and nuked it over the green. So the 4th shot after my unplayable ends up here, just trying to salvage a bogey realistically. I actually thought I hit a really good little pitch here, but man, it just came down off of that slope and gave me about 15 feet left for a bogey, which is just not the world you want to be living in. So I hit a solid putt. Sadly, it came up short and to the left. So that's back-to-back doubles. So nobody likes to put a 7 on the scorecard, especially after a double bogey for it. But now we come to the 14th hole, which is a beautiful coast-hugging dogleg par 4, doglegs to the right. Not a driver hole. It's very much a strategic play. There's a little, again, candy striped aiming pole in the middle of the screen there that you use as your reference point. So hitting 3-wood here, finally hit a good one, right over the candy stripe aiming pole, right into the middle of the fairway. So hitting just to the left of the Viking grave, which is notified in the course information booklet you get at the beginning of the round. Got about 145 uphill, hitting an 8-iron. I think I caught it a little bit heavy. Unfortunately, I hit right on the front of the green, and then it didn't get up to the top and came all the way back here. So got a little pitch, kind of got a little decel-y on that one. Got it up to about 12 feet. Was a little miffed here. You can see, didn't even take the flag out. But hit a good putt, and it goes in at 9 o'clock on the cup, and it's a 4 nonetheless. So we get to record a up and down 4 on the second hardest hole on the golf course, and we move to number 15, which can seem like an innocuous uphill par 4. It's about 300 meters, not a driver hole, kind of pinches down towards the green. So I hit a 3-wood here, my target line being the left side of the mountain in the distance. Hit a nice 3-wood right into the middle of the fairway, got about 115 yards. The wind here really affects the ball, especially into the wind, and so I took an extra club here, got a 9-iron, greens elevated. I'm aiming right at that candy stripe pole, and then I go ahead and just hit a awful chunky 9-iron. Had to stare at it for a while because I'm fairly certain it was going to go into the native. Fortunately, it cleared by a foot, and now I've got a tricky short-sided shot here. Same 9-iron after I cleaned the mud off and hit a little bump and run right into the face of the green, and it trickled up to about a foot. So that was a nice relief after hitting such a terrible second shot. So it looks like we've righted the ship a little bit. 2 pars in a row, coming to number 16, a long par 4, playing slightly downhill, also downwind today, but the tight driving area, there's a bunker left, there's a bunker right. Here I'm waiting for the grounds crew to finish up mowing the fairway. Again, the fairways were a little bit longer because of their inability to cut the grass, quite frankly, because they had gotten so much rain. So watching these guys work in pairs, wanted to make sure they knew I was there, and looking to hit over basically right at the point of the rocks out on the edge there. So my ball ends up perfectly in the middle of the fairway. Got about 150 yards all the way back to the pin. I've got an 8-iron here. Really just trying to carry that front bunker right there and let it release back to the hole. And I yet again hit a fat iron shot. I really noticed when watching this swing I wasn't doing very well at creating lag and accelerating through the ball. I kind of was steering it. But anyway, it leaves me in the bunker. I've got about 40 yards left to the flag. Hitting a 54, just trying to kind of get it out and run it up there. And actually ended up hitting a really good shot here. 54-degree release to about 10 feet right of the hole. So the 16th green location is absolutely spectacular. It sits out on a point, surrounded by water, almost kind of from 180 degrees of the backside of this green. Beautiful, beautiful location. Well-placed green site. Hoping to save par here again. Got 10, 12 feet left. Not much in the putt. Some of these have gone in today. Some of them haven't gone in today. Hoping to knock this one in. And I didn't get it to the hole. So we record a bogey on the second hardest hole on the back nine, albeit I would make an argument that it's harder than number 14. But here we are on the short par 3, 17th, 135 yards. Again, hitting right back at the backdrop of Mount Hove. So they've done a spectacular job of lining up tee boxes and greens with just incredible backdrops that coupled with the ocean and the sounds of the waves and everything that you get at Lofoten Links, it's just a spectacular tee shot. My camera work here is not great. You can't even see my ball. That was just a mistake on my part. But I've got 135 yards, back into a slight breeze, got an 8-iron. Haven't exactly been striking the ball very well here, so I think I'm having a conversation with myself here, trying to just muster up a good iron shot. And I do hit it pretty well. It's right on line, and we'll see how close we get. So I got fooled a little bit by an optical illusion. I thought it was about 5 feet short of the flag, but it ended up being about 25 feet short. I'm a little miffed here again. I don't bother to go get the flag, even though it's leaning. Anyway, it's starting to be one of those back nines where when you stop hitting crisp iron shots, things get a little frustrating. But anyway, I've got 25 feet for birdie, trying to at least get one of those shots back from those awful back-to-back doubles. I hit a really good putt that came up 3 inches short. It's a big difference when you're 3 inches short versus 3 inches past the hole, isn't it? Now, to the keen observer who's watching the background, I did not notice these 2 aircraft coming in while hitting my putts until I got back to my tripod with my phone and my ability to turn it around here. And so I was like, oh, this is really interesting. You don't see this every day. And so these are 2 big Airbus transports for, I'm assuming, the Norwegian Air Force. That one was pretty high, about the elevation of Mount Hove, and then not doing a very good job focusing in here, but that one was quite low, only a couple hundred feet off the ground. Here's another couple of examples of that type of aircraft, although that one being a British Royal Air Force, but they fly the same ones. Okay, moving on to the closing hole at Lofoten Links. Slightly uphill, par 4, dog legs slightly to the right, not a lot of trouble to the right. There's a lot of native on the left along with a couple of bunkers, and then the green, which we will see in a little bit, has a little bit of turtle back around the left front and the right side of the green. Really trying to hit a good drive here to set up a good second shot, but probably hit my worst drive of the day, at least from a contact perspective. It was so far off the toe and high on the face that it just kind of fell out of the air. Hey, look at that, and I'm saved by weakness. got up to what I thought the drive was going to be in the bunker, but it came up short. Had about 150 yards left. Tried to rope in a little 7-iron with a draw. Hit good contact finally after a series of bad iron shots. Just got a bit unlucky as it hit off the left side of the turtleback shaped green and settled about 3 feet off the green. So I got up to the ball and assessed. Yeah, I've got about 4 feet to putt through the kind of fringy area. It was pretty good. Wasn't any dry spots or bare spots. So I decided to take a putter, run it up, try to get it as close as possible, tap in for a par. So of all my long lag putts of the day, this one was probably one of the worst. I end up giving this, I'll grade this as a C minus, D plus, but I had about 8 feet with not a lot of break in it, slightly from left to right. Some might in fact call this a Lance Armstrong, but it was one of the putts where you just kind of got to trust your line, hit it with pace, and assume that there's no imperfections in these greens that would cause it to miss. You never want to end a vacation on a bad shot or a bad putt. So I was very happy to see that this 8-footer went in, and I was able to end my rounds at Lofoten Links on such a high note. What an experience. I highly recommend it.